Welcome back to Tech Tips. We've got Joshua Riggs here again with us at Bethany Church. Josh, tell us about how we can mix the live stream. That's important, isn't it?
Yeah, so live stream audio is a difficult thing to figure out because what it sounds like on a phone or on a computer, it sounds totally different in person in your sanctuary. In the sanctuary, you have natural acoustics, reverb, and other people's voices, and you have other noises that are happening that you don't even realize are being included in the mix. But online, it often can be very dry or very boxy, very much, it just doesn't feel like the same experience. Even yesterday, I heard somebody say, we've never been able to get our live stream to sound or feel the same way as what's in person. And so it's a difficult thing to master for sure.
And it's definitely a different process, isn't
right.
it?
Yes. Yeah. It's a few steps, but today we're going to look at a simple fix that you can do to make your live stream audio just a little bit better, and it will help you in the long run. And that is basically you want to mix the live stream audio separately from your in-person audio. So I'm here in front of the console, and this is would be a standard mix for us. You can see we've got our instruments, drums, bass, acoustic, keys, guitars, and then we have our vocal mics here. And so I have the mix, and often what churches will do is they just copy the mix from their main mix and send it up to the live stream. Or they just use the microphone on their camera, which I don't recommend doing. You don't use the built-in mic. You want to send the audio from your console up to your live stream so that it's the same, so it is a good quality sound, and you're mixing it separately. And the way to do that is just through an aux send, or sometimes it's called a bus send. And all consoles, whether it's digital or analog, they have at least 2 and sometimes 4, as many as 14 or 16 aux sends. And so this console has 16 aux sends, and we have our live stream set to go to mix 10 or aux 10. And so if I click on aux 10, you can see the faders change. I'll go back. So this is our main mix, our main house mix. And if I click, this is our live stream mix. And you can see over here, BP1, BP2, BP3, these are the mics for the preachers and those who are giving announcements and things like that. You can see those are up a little higher than the other instruments because we needed those to be louder. And so you can see it changes depending on what live stream mix we're doing. The way we do that is, I think you can see these 2 yellow cables. These are being sent. Our live stream happens upstairs in this tech booth upstairs. So these cables are being sent upstairs, and that sends the live stream mix and to our live feed. So the easiest way, if you have a digital console, is to just control that from your tablet, which all digital consoles have a tablet option. So if I go to mix 10 here, I can see that these faders are the same as what's on these faders. So if you watch here, if I turn it down, it's actually turning it down. So I can listen with headphones, or I can listen on my phone from the live stream, and your volunteer can make adjustments as needed to the levels right from. So, and what I'm doing here on the mix 10 is not affecting what they're hearing in person. That's totally being controlled by the main feed.
And so it's just real critical. A couple of things you mentioned there. The camera, that mic does not work.
Right.
And
let's talk about why.
Yes.
The camera, all cameras have a built-in microphone. But when you're in a sanctuary with a lot of noise, walls and stuff, the sound is just bouncing around constantly. And unless you are really close to the mic is not going to pick you up. It's picking up all the room noise. And so if your live stream is boomy, or it's hard for you to hear the pastor speaking, it's probably because you're using the built-in mic. But if you use the mic or the sound from your audio console, it's going to be a clean feed up to your live stream, so that doesn't sound so boomy or far away.
So that's not going to work for sure.
Right.
But the other thing that I think confuses a lot of us is it sounded so good in person.
Right.
Why did the live stream not? And it's just a separate mix.
Yeah, so the separate mix, and we haven't talked about this, but another thing that you can do is two things to look at, and we don't have time to get into this video, and that is reverb, and reverb is, probably everybody knows what it is. If you go into a big hall or sometimes bathrooms or hallways and you clap and it kind of echoes, that's just natural reverb. Your console can add reverb to the vocal mics or to the instrumental mics, which help it to sound more natural instead of so boxy or bland. So if you can add reverb to your vocal mics, it's going to help the online experience sound more natural. And the other one is compression. And compression is kind of a technical term, but basically it reduces the high points and it increases the low points, so that if somebody's singing really soft, it actually boosts their signal so that they can be heard easily. Or if they start singing really loud and they're oversourcing the input, it will compress that signal so that all the inputs stay within the range that you set. So reverb and compression, you just need to look at those and make sure those two things are being added to the live stream, and that will help it sound a little more natural, a little more like they're in the room. But you have to realize they're using their phone. A lot of them are using their phone. Those are not just great speakers on your iPhone, or maybe they're using their computer. Those are not just the best speakers. So it's going to be very difficult to get it to sound just like it is in the room.
And the other part is we can't get it set and then know we're okay.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. So every week, if you watch one of the other videos, we talk about checklist. Every week, we go through and we check our live stream mix, and we make sure that nothing has changed, or that everything is set the way it's supposed to do. You can't just set it one time and then just say, well, it worked last month, so it should be fine. No, you need to check it every week and make sure that it's consistent. And also, you can use the previous week's live stream to make adjustments and improve for the next week. Go back and listen to the live stream, especially during the music time, during the worship time. Listen and say what sounds weird, what's too loud, what's not loud enough, and then make adjustments and just keep tweaking along the way.
That's great. Well, thank you, Joshua, for giving us these tech tips today.
Yeah.
I think this will help us out, and thank you all for listening and watching today. We encourage you to share this with others so that we can do our best to be as effective as possible for the body of Christ. Thanks for joining us today.